Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello and welcome to ECL Elite Semifinals coverage. My name is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we are back with games 3 through 7 of EXEN versus Valokuitunen Esports. Valokuitunen Esports took games 1 and 2 yesterday, and they will look to close the deal today to punch their ticket into yet another finals as the defending champions, while EXEN on the other end trying to climb their way back, a tall hill they're going to have to climb, a massive task that they are going to have to complete. But we've seen some crazy things happen in the ECL before. Could today add one more chapter into the history books. We'll take a quick look at the bracket just to show you where things stand in both of our series. We saw both this series and the Strikers versus Tunnel Vision series yesterday kick off. Strikers and Tunnel Vision tied at 1-1. We'll see the conclusion of that series on Wednesday right here at twitch.tv/SportsGamerGG. Well, for Valokuitunen Esports, dominant really throughout both of their games, had to take it a little bit closer in game 1, admittedly, a 2-1 overtime victory, but dominated the possession game, and in game 2, a 2-0 victory for them. And even though they weren't really able to find the goals, once again, were dominant in the possession, and EXEN just really not able to find much of any offense in either of those two games. Just one goal in over 110 minutes nearly of play, so just not a lot there for EXEN on the offensive end. They're going to look to try to fix that here today, while Valokuitunen Esports really just going to try to look to continue to do a lot of the same things that they did yesterday. We'll slide over to the matchups between these two teams to see how they've stacked up in the postseason so far. And you can see it's actually been an advantage towards EXEN in just about every single statistic. They swept Totterit in the quarterfinals, while Valokuitunen Esports were taken to the brink as the 1 seed against the 8th seeded Blackjacks. But EXEN, now matching up against this Valokuitunen team, have struggled just a little bit. You see just that 1 goal yesterday. They had 13 in their 4 games against Totterit. Had a pretty good game defensively. Kazu was good in net, but again, just the lack of offense really hurting them here so far in the series. Valokuitunen Esports have seemed to slowly but surely find their game again. We saw really probably their best game of the playoffs in that game 2 yesterday. Got a lot of zone time, were dominant on the defensive end. Vincere was great in net, and most importantly, got a few more shots on net as well, which has really been their biggest flaw. So we'll see if they continue some of those things on here in these next few games, and if EXEN can adjust from what we saw from them yesterday. Let's give you a quick look at the starting lineups for both these two teams here tonight, and we'll start out on the side of EXEN, the number 5 seed. At left wing, it'll be Ardo. At center, Tunkelia, and at right wing, Indy to round out the forward trio. On the back end, defensively, it will be Landstrom and Moja, and at goaltending, it will be Kazu, who, again, has been phenomenal all playoffs long, was phenomenal last night. You're going to need him to continue that form here in these games today. Well, on the side of Valokuitunen, the left wing, Pico Roger. Center, Benito, their captain. And the right wing, Nicky Dingles for the 3 forwards. While back on the defensive pairing, it'll be Domi at left D and Temu at right D. And in net, Vincere at the goaltender spot. Take a look at the center matchups between Tunkelia and Benito, when really I think Tunkelia did well yesterday. Matched up well against Benito, was great in the face-off circle, was probably the best of the 3 forwards in the 2 games yesterday, was great defensively, was able to come up with a couple of plays on the offensive end despite not getting the goals, while Benito just continuing to do what Benito does. Great on both sides of the ice, showing up at big moments when his team needs him, always creating plays, not just for himself, but for his teammates. He's just one of those guys that's such a handful to keep keep a track of really for defense. And you've seen EXEN have to deal with that so far in the series. So Benito continuing to be great. Tukele, who I said yesterday was probably the most underrated center in the division, in my opinion, I think has shown why. He has matched up well with arguably the best center, if not one of the best centers in this division. So props to both of these guys. It's going to be fun to see them match up here once again today. Slide over to the wingers that'll be next to these two in the middle, and I think you got to give the advantage to Valokuitunen so far in this series, despite EXEN being better in the last series. Pico Roger and Nicky Dangles, both phenomenal yesterday, were able to find some offense, the way they were able to get open and cycle the puck around. There weren't many mistakes made by these guys, in my opinion, when they had the puck. I think you have to give them a lot of credit for the way they played, really stepped up and made an impact. While for Ardo and Indy, pretty quiet day, really, for both of them in games 1 and games 2 yesterday. Not a whole lot of shots, not a whole lot of opportunities. We just didn't really see them work the puck much, and it didn't feel like we called their name much at all either. Most of the offense drove through Lundstrom and Mojo, who we'll talk about in a little bit, and that's typically how this EXEN team works. But they're able to set them up typically, and usually Ardo and Indy are the benefactors of those two being the straw that stirs the drink. We didn't see that really much yesterday, so Ardo and Indy going to have to be much more involved today, and I think that I would expect them to be. Both of them very good players, very solid wingers, have been in the league for a long time in this elite division. I would expect them to be much more impactful in these games today than what we saw from them last night. Now moving forward on to the defensive pairings, and these guys have just been phenomenal, really, all series long. Lancer and Moja not able to really have the same offensive success yesterday we saw from them in the quarterfinals or really in the regular season. I think you have to give Valokuitunen a lot of credit. We knew that they were going to be focused on those two with the puck on their stick. They're probably two of the most puck-dominant defensemen in the ECL, so you have that in the same pairing. You expect them to have a lot of attention on them, but they were still good. They were able to create a few plays. They were able to break the puck in a couple of times, and the one goal that we saw them get on the power play, if I'm correct, did start out with a pretty solid cycle from the point. So Lancer and Moja were able to make an impact, maybe not at the level that EXEN would maybe have hoped, considering how much they rely on those guys, but we'll see if they can maybe step up here today and use some of the things that they learned. I actually got to talk to Moja before the games today, and he said that obviously being down 0-2 isn't an ideal situation, but they still feel confident with some of the good things from yesterday and want to try to build up on that to make a comeback happen. While on the side of Valokuitunen, the Domi and Teemu, just absolutely amazing yesterday. They're going to look to continue their success, especially on the defensive end. These two are two of the most shut down defensemen that you have in this division, so they're going to want to continue that. It'll be interesting to see if they can do so heading into today. And then last but not least, the goaltenders here today. And like I said, both of these guys were just stellar yesterday. Kazu at 84 save percentage in his 4 games played in the quarterfinals. Vincente 86.7 in his 7 in the quarterfinals. But really where these two stepped up were yesterday especially. We saw Kazu really keep his team in the game through a lot of the periods where it felt like EXEN struggled and got hemmed in their own zone. That save percentage is now up to an 85.37. Well, for Vincente, just continuing to be great, right? I mean, he was amazing in that quarterfinal series versus the Blackjacks. A huge reason that they were even able to avoid the upset. His save percentage now up to an 88.57. So it's kind of nice to see these stats from the quarterfinals just to show you that difference between how much they have stepped up in the semifinal series when they were stellar in the last series. So really like that we could see that, and I think both of these two will be amazing here yet again today. They've never failed to amaze us. Today should be no different. Take a quick look at the keys to the game for both sides here as we get ready for puck drop in just a few moments. We'll start out with EXEN, and quite honestly, I think a lot of this is going to be the same that we said yesterday. Number one, be organized defensively. I think that EXEN did a pretty good job at doing this. I mean, despite the Valokuitunen zone time that they had to face, they didn't allow a whole lot of shots, and as much as I think that goes on Valokuitunen's game and goes on Valokuitunen maybe being a little bit hesitant at times, give EXEN credit for not allowing those open shooting lanes, and they only did allow 4 goals in the 2 games in total. So 2 goals in game 1 being in overtime, and then 2 goals in regulation in game number 2, with one of those being in the last minute of game number 2. So EXEN defensively did a good job of that. I think they're going to have to continue to if they want to stay in this series. Number 2, earn more offensive zone time. This is something that's going to have to improve for EXEN. They did not have a whole lot of offensive zone time. Valokuitunen really dominated the possession game, and we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But for EXEN, they are going to have to try to find their way to more offense, and that's something that Moja talked about a little bit And he said not just yesterday that they struggled offensively before this series, but we saw that continue yesterday. And he even said that he wanted to see his team move the puck a bit faster and read those offensive zone scenarios a little bit better to create space for better scoring opportunities coming into today. So EXEN's plenty aware that they need to find more offensive success. We'll see if they can do that here. The number 3, limit mistakes. We saw a critical mistake in the overtime of game number 1. A penalty that was taken in overtime that didn't need to be. Gave Valokuitunen a power play. Eventually led to a power play game-winning goal to give them that game 1. Little mistakes like that are the ones that make the difference. EXEN are going to have to clean those up. You can beat Valokuitunen, but you cannot beat yourselves to beat Valokuitunen. They're going to have to clean up some of those miscues to try to find their way to a comeback today. Now we'll move forward over to the Valokuitunen side of things, and really, again, a lot of the same things we said yesterday they were able to execute on, and it just needs to do the same thing here today. Continue to win the possession game. Valokuitunen's game loves to try to continue to have that possession game in their favor. They love to cycle it around. They're very patient with the puck on their stick. To be honest, sometimes maybe a little bit too patient, which is why I would love to see them not hesitate to shoot the puck, but hey, nevertheless, that's their play style, and I actually did ask Benito about that coming into the day, and he said we wanted to cycle the puck a bit more, and I guess that allows not shooting as much, but I think we still got a good amount of shots on net, so Valokuitunen, they're fine with the amount of shots they're getting, so it obviously it succeeded for them. They won both games yesterday, and they won their series last week. So, I would like to see them shoot the puck a little bit more, not be as hesitant, but that's their play style. They're committing to it, and so far it has worked for them. So why not continue to do so until proven otherwise? And then finally, continue to slow down Lundstrom and Mojo. We talked about earlier how important those two are to this EXEN team, especially offensively. But even said in the interview yesterday that maybe they used them a little bit too much. So you knew that they were going to have a circle around those two guys. So far, they've done a good job of stifling them and slowing them down. They're going to have to continue to do that here today. They want to find success. We'll bring it back into the studio. The two teams are matching up. We will have puck drop here in just a few seconds, as we do want to give a quick shout out and thank you to our amazing sponsor, Covidon Lock-and-See, for their generous and amazing support of everything we do here at the ECL and of SportsGamer. Well, Valokuitunen Esports, a massive opportunity here in game number 3. A 3-0 lead could very well see them in the position to go ahead and clinch this series. EXEN, and really a must-win situation right here, right? It'll be tough to see them going in against Valokuitunen and winning 4 straight games in a row. They're going to have to win this game 3, it feels like. Not a total must-win in terms of the mathematics, but it feels like, in theory, a must-win. We'll see how they step up. We'll see what they learned from yesterday. And we'll see if Valokuitunen can continue their success that they saw from yesterday. You see the lineups for both these two teams. This is going to be an interesting one, folks. Valokuitunen and EXEN both know what they need to do. Who's going to be able to execute? Who is going to punch their ticket into the finals? One of 2 spots will be clinched here today. We'll find out who it is starting right now. We are underway, and Valokuitunen win possession as they move their way in, and Teemu controls it at the point. Domi has it. Gates lifting and goes down low over to Nickett Angles. Back up to Domi. Pass, shot on, save made by Kazu. Another pass in front, puck was loose, and it's picked up by Tunkelia. So already a fast start there offensively for Valokuitunen, continuing to find their way to offense. They're back in the offensive zone now, but lost it for a second, but got it back. Roger had it, but was bumped off that puck and goes to Benito down low. Benito back up to Domi. Domi skates in, pass in front, picked off, and puck is loose and fouled at the point by Domi. Roger gives chase. Eventually found by Nickett Angles. Down to Piku Roger, a backhand shot, easily saved by Kazu. Monster will start the possession, but it's turned over on the breakout. Piku Roger has it. We're the left corner, up to Domi. Domi at the point, looking for a shooting lane or a pass, and can't find anything. We apologize for some of the lag issues, and a shot, and they score! A quick shot for Valokuitunen. That's Nickett Angles that put that one through. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, a 1-0 lead. As it was Piku Roger, actually, that got that one through Kazu. As you get a look at the replay there, and just squeaked by Kazu, and exactly the start that Valokuitunen and Esports were hoping to have a quick shot, a quick goal, and a 1-0 lead. Now EXEN going to have to try to respond here as they try to move the puck into the offensive zone, but don't keep it there. Taking angles in control, tried to pass that across, but didn't have much. Puck over to the right side boards. Lawson found by EXEN. Lundstrom at the point. Gives it up to Kelly. A shot on. Blockered away there by Fincere. Angles in possession of it. Gives it up to Domi, who will start the breakout and finds Pico Roger. Pico Roger passed over to Benito, but Benito couldn't find it. And EXEN now go on the other end. Lundstrom to Ardo. Hit off that puck, and now Valokuitunen counter on the other side. Nicky Dangles to Domi. Domi holds it, looking for a pass or a shot, and gives it up to Nicky Dangles. Nicky Dangles passed across. Hit off of, I believe, the pad there of Kazu, and EXEN will find it in front of him and move it up the other end to Kelly in the offensive zone now. To the point to Lundstrom. Now, that was a shot on. Goes wide there. A rip from the point. Good attempt, but couldn't find it to the net. As Aro poke checked on the forecheck, caused a turnover. A quick shot and a quick save by Fincere, who hold on for a whistle. EXEN trying to respond here with a goal of their own, applying a little bit of pressure here. We didn't see much of that forecheck from them yesterday. Worked out to their advantage there. Face off to the right of Fincere. Tied up. It's found all the way in the other end by EXEN. Moser in control. Gives up to Ardo. Ardo lost it past the blue line, and Teemu now will control the breakout and slow things down. Pico Roger bumped off that puck on the boards, and now here comes EXEN trying to counter, but a big hit down the middle on Tukelia as he crossed the blue line. EXEN, however, gets it back. Tukelia with it, gives it up to Ardo. Ardo dumps it around behind the net, giving chase, but found first by Domi. Still trying to get it there, EXEN. They're applying a lot of pressure here. Valokuitunen struggling to get past their own zone, but they finally do. Here comes Pico Roger, past the blue line, looking for something, past across, picked up by Tukelia. That one had some danger to it. Valokuitunen trying to find that second goal, and they're pushing for it. EXEN going to be called for an offside. 3:58 to go here in period number 1. Valokuitunen holding on to their 1-0 lead. Face off in the neutral zone. Found and won by Valokuitunen cleanly. Nicky Dangles gives it back to the point to Domi. Delayed penalty called against EXEN. Nicky Dangles a pass in front. Deflected away, and now a power play upcoming for Valokuitunen as Lundstrom will head to the box 2 minutes for boarding. Power play for Valokuitunen has struggled so far this season, in the postseason rather. Just around 10% so far. Got the one power play goal yesterday to win game 1 in overtime, but aside from that, they had just one power play goal in all of their quarterfinal series against the Blackjacks, looking to find their man advantage again. Roger goes down low and Benito holds it. Out to the point to Domi, to Teemu now at the opposite side point. Gates into the face-off circle, gives it back to Domi at the high point, works his way in, back to Teemu at the point. Teemu skating around, back to Domi. Very patient for Valokuitunen right now, as Teemu still holds it. Teemu up to Domi. Domi at the high slot. Shot on by Pico Roger, blocked in front. Pico Roger still has possession. Poke checked away, but Domi finds it before it leaves the zone. Domi skates in, shot on, pass saved by Kazu. Still holding it, here's Nicky Dangles. Shot on again from Pico Roger, another save by Kazu. This time he'll hold on for the whistle. Just 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining. Valokuitunen, a strong power play in terms of the cycle, nearing full pressure. And EXEN, in response, are going to take their time out here. Give us a quick look at just the stats, and this is what we saw yesterday, folks. Valokuitunen dominating the possession game. EXEN not able to create much offense. And so far, a lot of the tendencies that we saw in the first 2 games last night have continued here coming into tonight. Great for Valokuitunen. Not a good sign for EXEN. That was something we had talked to Moja about. He kind of wanted to see his team get a little bit of that puck possession, just moving the puck a bit faster, reading the offensive scenarios a little bit better. But so far, Valokuitunen have been a step ahead each time. As the face-off won initially by Valokuitunen, but EXEN finds it in the offensive zone. Tukelia has it, but turned over. 6 seconds left as Teemu gives it up to Domi. All the way up to Piku Roger. Last chance for a shot, but will not get one off. That will do it for the first period. A dominant one for Valokuitunen. They won the 0 lead. They had all the possession time, had all of the shots on net pretty much, and they come in with a 1-0 lead heading into the second period. We'll get that feed for you right back up. We're trying to clean some of those lag issues up. A big thank you to Chris for everything he's doing for us behind the scenes. But nevertheless, the story, once again, Valokuitunen continuing to dominate the way they did yesterday. It looks almost like a really similar game to what we saw, especially in Game 2 in the early stages of Game 1. Just EXEN not really able to find much offense, not able to keep the puck in the offensive zone to get a sustained cycle going. Really, EXEN, as great as they've been on the defensive end, their best defense really has been their offense so far. That's something that, as Benito kind of talked a little bit about, is their game. I mean, that is their game. They want to just play their game, cycle the puck a bit more, and he said that they feel like they've been able to create good scoring chances, and on the counterattacks, they've also been able to do things, and they've played good defense to limit their scoring chances. So, Valokuitunen, they're executing at pretty much the perfect sense, and they're being rewarded for it. A 1-0 lead. EXEN, however, still have a lot of time to turn things around. We'll see if they can, as we are back underway. And Mosher moves in the offensive zone. Gates it at the blue line, trying to find for an option, and gives it to Tukelia. Tukelia over at the right corner. Puck loose in front. Found by Vincere, and he'll play this out. Roger with it. Gives it up to Benito. Tried to put on a one-touch deep, but couldn't keep it. As Nicky Dangles finds it. Gives a shot on there by Teemu at the point. Saved by Kazu. Valokuitunen picks it up in the neutral zone. Turned over, and EXEN finds it now. Mosher tried to pass it in the offensive zone, but no one there for it. And here comes Nicky Dangles on the other side. Pass across. Pico Roger at the shot, but it went wide. Teemu gets it, and he gives it to Domi at the high point. Controls it, bumped off the puck, and Tukelia gets it a 2-on-1 here potentially. Indy, shot on! Looked like that may have been poke checked from behind, but still in the offensive zone are EXEN. Mosher at the right boards. Gives it to Lundstrom. Shot on there. One time, another shot on. 2 saves by Vincere. He'll play this out. He's feeling confident. Nicky Dangles gives it up to Benito. Benito in the offensive zone. Down to Nicky Dangles. Down to Teemu at the right point. Gives it to Domi. Domi dumps this in. But it's picked up by Mosher. And now will end the offensive possession for Valokuitunen. EXEN starting to find some chances a little bit here. Have to continue it. Tukelia to Ardo at the right boards. Shot on. Easy save made by Vincere. There's another shot on. They score! Oh! Gets the backhand past Vincere after a turnover by Valokuitunen. And we have a tie game, 1-1, just like that. As you see it right there, Benito just not able to pick that puck up in front of the net. Finds its way to Ardo. Beats Vincere on the backhand, who I don't think was expecting that. And it just takes one play, and that one play knots this thing all up one apiece for EXEN. Valokuitunen looking to respond. Teemu has it and skates it in. Didn't have much room. It's found by Benito. Goes down low, and it angles at the slot. Tried to shoot it, but it was blocked in front. A lot of traffic. Indy passes up to the point. Mosher goes down low. Indy has it again. Bump from behind, but a nice effort to get that pass off to Lundstrom while he was falling. Lundstrom at the left side gives it up to Mosher at the point. As Mosher gonna have to go back and reset. He was caught offside. Great pressure defensively there at the point from Valokuitunen. Halfway through this game, all knotted up at 1 in a critical Game 3. Valokuitunen up 2-0 in the series. EXEN trying to keep themselves in it. Valokuitunen have possession now with Teemu. Domi, back to Teemu. Tried to find Benito down the middle, but it's called offside. Face off in the neutral zone. Tie up, won by Valokuitunen, and they break into the offensive zone immediately as Domi tried to pass across. Nothing was there, but he gets it back. Lost it, however, as Tukelia controls it. Valokuitunen establishing their forecheck. Kelly, a nice job of beating it. And now here comes EXEN countering on the other end. Ardo down low to Indy. Tried to hit Ardo behind him on a cut, but could not do so cleanly. That'll make things reset for EXEN. Nice slap pass out to Ardo. Ardo gets into the offensive zone. Moser picks it up at the point, but lost it. Gets it back, however, but still going to force a reset with 4.5 to play here in period 2. Ardo wins the puck battle. Shot on. Glove save made by Francere, and he'll hold on and freeze this. With 4:06 to play here in period 2. Offensive zone face-off coming up for EXEN. Their first of this game, if I recall. Been dominant on the face-offs, won 7 of 9. Make it 8 of 10 now. Valokuitunen get into the offensive zone with Teemu. He skates it in, puck loose in front. Found by Benito, couldn't get anything off in time as he was bumped off of that puck. And now EXEN come on the other end. Got in the offensive zone momentarily, but he was bumped off of the puck and it turned over. Benito with possession. Benito skates in, goes behind the net over to Pico Roger. Back to Benito, lost it behind the net. Bumped off of that puck, and now EXEN picked things up with 90 seconds left here in the second period. Not able to get out of their own zone, however, and Valokuitunen's forecheck shows up again. Benito with it. Puck loose. Shot on. Puck still loose. Found by Nicky Dangles. Pass across. Can't get the shot off. It goes wide. Wasn't on net as he did get it off the second attempt. Was just jamming at that puck, but it didn't find Kazu. Spin move there from Lundstrom to evade a defender, but it was offside. Could have been a highlight reel play if he was able to get something out of that, but just a hair behind the skater to his left side. .9 to play. You see the shot differential. It was all EXEN in that second period. As they dump it in, no time for a shot, and that will do it for period 2. Advantage EXEN this time around. A dominant second period for them. They respond with some good possession time. They got 6 shots on net. Triple what we saw from them in the first period. Well, they were able to slow down Valokuitunen. Just 1 shot in that second period there for Valokuitunen. And all of a sudden, the story in this game is turned on its head. EXEN, right there with Valokuitunen in a tie situation heading into the final frame of regulation. As you get a look at the stats, the zone time still in Valokuitunen's favor, but he had a lot less of it in that second period, and they've not had as many shots. And I mentioned in the pregame, for those that weren't with us, talked to Benito about that earlier before the broadcast, and he said that they wanted to cycle the puck a bit more, and that just kind of led to them not shooting as much, but he still thought they got a good amount of shots. He was fine with it. It wasn't a concern for him. Just 5 shots on net through 2 periods right now, and EXEN maximizing their opportunities. You have to maybe wonder if the shot on net will become a slightly bigger priority here in period 3. We are tied in 1-1, and this is a potential game that could dictate where the rest of this series goes. EXEN trying to close the gap to a 2-1 series. Valokuitunen trying to bust things open at 3-0. Rogers' shot was blocked in front by Lundstrom, who has it. The puck finds its way to Moja. On the to Kelly, who goes to Indy. Indy in the offensive zone. Lost that puck, but it finds Moja. Shot almost blocked in front, but EXEN still controls. Shot on from afar. Said he had to be sharp for that one. Another shot was blocked by a defender. Puck found in the defensive zone by Valokuitunen. We apologize once again for some of the freezes, but we are back now. Nicky angles up to Teemu at the point. Skates in. Stops. He gives it back over to Benito at the left corner board. Down low. Puck rings all the way around to the opposite point. And Domi finds it. Gives it to Pico Roger. Pico Roger skates in behind the net. Pass across in front. Benito shot on. Saved by Kazu. He'll freeze it. Valokuitunen starting to get a little bit closer to what they were in period 1. Moving that puck around. Found the quick shot on net that already matches the amount of chances that they saw in the second period. Face off to the right of Kazu. Tied up and won in the defensive zone by EXEN. A big win. Lundstrom gives it to Aro to break past the blue line. Now back to Lundstrom at the point. Lundstrom skates in. Circles around, looking for an option. Hits Moja, back to Lundstrom, spins, turns, trying to find something, but a nice job from Valokuitunen clogging the lane. And here they come on the counter. Pika Roger shot goes, or the pass rather goes off the pass from Kazu, but here comes the counter. Ardo shot on save by Vincere. Another chance hits the side of the net. Ardo still battling behind, but it picks up by Domi as he lost that puck. A quick chance from EXEN almost was dangerous. Here comes Valokuitunen on the counter. Pico Roger behind the net, lost the puck, and it finds his way to Nicky Dangles. Now the Teemu. Teemu looking for space, shot on. Nice save there from Kazu. Will hold on and freeze it. 11 and a half minutes to play here in period 3. Both sides getting some chances here over the last couple of minutes. It's an offensive zone faceoff upcoming here for Valokuitunen. So the right side, or excuse me, the left side of Kazu, right side of Valokuitunen. Puck finds Indy, gives it to Kelia, who finds Ardo on the breakout. Tried to put him on a move, a little between the legs dig, but to no avail. And now here comes Valokuitunen on the counterattack. Benito skates it in. Pass over to the corner board. It's found by Pico Roger. Pico Roger to Benito. Benito over at the right face-off circle. Gives it out to the point to Teemu. Now to Domi, pressured, evades it, skates in, pass across in front. Oh, he had Nicky Dangles, a well-made play. Kazu was able to get a hold of that puck. If he didn't, it would have been a wide open net, potentially the game-breaking goal for Valokuitunen. Do have an offensive zone face-off here, however. One to Nicky Dangles on the tie-up. Domi with it to Pico Roger. Behind the net, gives it to Benito, who gives it up to Teemu at the point. Now back to Benito. Back to Pico Roger, shot on from an odd angle, blockered away by Kazu. Puck loose behind the net, found by Pico Roger to Teemu at the right point. Back to Domi next to him. Domi holding it, and he loses it for a second and will have to reset. Nicky Dangles broke it into the offensive zone, but he turned it over immediately. 6 minutes to play. Game tight here. 1-1 score. Critical game here in the next 5.5 minutes. Domi in the neutral zone, gives it up to Benito. Bumped off of that puck, but gets it back. Finds Pico Roger, pass across. He had Nicky Dangles, but he couldn't find the puck. Shot from Teemu, rebound, puck loose, almost trickled its way in, but EXEN finds it. 4 minutes to play. Moja to Tunkelia, back to Moja at the right corner board. Gives it to Tunkelia as they switch positions. Kelia was at the point, dumps it around the Ardo, and he turns it over at the left corner. Nicky Dangles now has it, past the blue line. Skates in. Pass to the opposite side was turned over. Moja controls the breakout. Now just 2 minutes remaining. As an offside is going to be called. The shots on net, Valokuitunen. 5 shots in this third period alone, matching their total from the first 2 periods combined. Teemu with it. Gives it to Nicky Dangles. Pass across was picked off by Moja. He does keep it. And gives it to Lundstrom, who finds Moja back. 1 minute to play. Tied at 1. Massive, massive game in this series. EXEN needs this victory to stay in the series. 3-0 lead would be detrimental to their chances. Domi controls it and gives it to Benito. He finds it only right behind them back and gives it to Teemu. Teemu bumped off that puck and it's found by Lundstrom. Battled for it in the offensive zone for EXEN, but turned over. Finds it again. It almost went in. Puck loose and it hit off the side of the cage on the shot. 23 seconds remaining. Domi skates it in. Pass behind the net. Pico Roger finds it. Tries to reverse to find a pass in front, but nothing was there. 12 seconds now. Lundstrom gonna take things back and reverse course. Didn't like what he saw. 6 seconds. Last chance for EXEN to get a score in regulation. Lundstrom to Moja. Moja pass across. Shot on goes wide on the one-timer. That was Tunkelia who ripped that, but he could not put it on net. That will do it for period 3. 60 minutes not enough, and we will have overtime here in game 3. So for the second time in this series, it will take extra hockey. As man, EXEN really close to the game winner on that one-timer by Tunkelia. Just went wide past Vincere. As you see the stats here, Again, Valokuitunen, all the zone time in the world, but similarly to game one, just not a lot of shots. EXEN, however, taking advantage of their zone time, even though they haven't had as much of it. 5 minutes and 47 seconds in the offensive zone, and it's an improvement from yesterday, but still would like to keep Valokuitunen from being in the zone as much as they have been. EXEN in game 2, 4 minutes and 37 seconds of time on attack. In game 1, 6 minutes and 19 seconds. So the stats very close and very similar to game 1. Almost a bit of a deja vu feeling, but EXEN's going to hope that the result doesn't repeat itself. That was a 2-1 win for Valokuitunen in that game. EXEN going to have to try to change that here in this game 3. So overtime is underway, but a quick offsides just 15 seconds in. Controlled by Lundstrom. He moves it over to Indy at the right side. Vincere gets that puck and gives it to Domi to start the breakout. His Teemu next to him and goes to Pika Roger at the boards. Pika Roger reverses it around, but it's found first by Lundstrom. Counterattack for EXEN. Ardo with it. Pass across to Kelly. A shot on was blocked in front. Benito's skate got a piece of that, I believe. And it goes out of play. Face off in the offensive zone for EXEN. To the left side of Vincere. Won by EXEN. Shot on! Save made by Kazu. Off the left pad, keeping that one out. Here comes Valokuitunen on the other end, but it's turned over. Nice defensive play there made by EXEN. Tunkelia at the left board. Gives it to Indy. Indy back to Tunkelia down low. Tried to pass it to the man next to him, Mozja, but it was turned over. Read well there by Valokuitunen. You're in the offensive zone now as Teemu controls it at the boards. Goes to Domi to the point. Domi down to Benito. Benito down low to Pika Roger behind the net, looking for an option and gives it to Teemu. Teemu skates in, goes back down low to Pika Roger, tried to pass it to Benito next to him, but it was turned over, and Nicky Dangles will find it to Teemu. Benito now has it again. At the corner board, hits Teemu next to him at the point. Teemu shot on from a far angle, does not go towards Kazu, and it's turned over, and now EXEN looking to counterattack. Ardo has it. Skates around for the corner and gives it up to the point to Lundstrom. Now to Mozja, shot from the far point, skating backwards. No power on it, no danger. And now Valokuitunen counter. Pika Roger with behind the net. Versus in front, shot off for Nicky Dangles. He hesitated. Oh, if he shot immediately, it would have been a goal. It looks like he maybe was trying to gather that puck. The game winner was on his stick, but it was not meant to be, as it will lead to an offside, and I think that Kazu and the entire EXEN team saw their season potentially flash in front of their very eyes. A second chance at life for EXEN. Can they capitalize on the miss from Valokuitunen? They turn it over as here comes Pika Roger. Pika Roger pass in front over to Benito. Saved by Kazu, and he plays it out. Kazu known to be aggressive on those playouts. Tunkelia controls it, skates it past the blue line and dumps it into the right corner. Domi wins the race to the puck and gives it to Teemu. Slight forecheck here as EXEN's starting to ramp up the pressure, and they force a turnover. Backhanded from the point to Mozja, but it's picked up by a defender instead. Here comes Pika Roger past the offensive zone. Like the wraparound attempt, but could not find it. Halfway through this first overtime period, still looking for our game winner. The closest chance came just a few minutes ago by Nicky Dangles, couldn't get the shot off in time. As Valokuitunen in the offensive zone, Pika Roger tried to work his way to the middle, but couldn't find space. Indy controlling it, giving it back to Lundstrom behind him. Now to Indy again. Indy puts a move on and gives it to Mozja at the point, between the legs deep. Mozja working, goes behind the net, tried to get a wraparound, but could not do so as Ardo picked it up, but it was turned over, and now Pika Roger in possession. Gives it to Teemu at the point, now the Domi right next to him. Back to Teemu. Teemu holding, gives it to Pika Roger at the corner and goes down low to Nicky Dangles. Reverses it back up to Teemu at the point, who skates in, tries to give it to the left corner board, but it's picked off by EXEN. Less than 5 minutes to play in overtime number 1. We saw a triple overtime game yesterday between Strikers and Tunnel Vision. We see multiple overtimes in this series. A shot on, saved by Kazu. Valokuitunen trying to avoid that. Another shot on. This one goes wide. Teemu holding on to the point. Could not find anything with the puck on his stick as Domi controls it, gives it up to Pika Roger, but they're called offsides. Face off to the neutral zone with just over 2.5 minutes to play here in the first overtime period. We will go until we get a winner. EXEN control it with Lundstrom. Tried to pass that up. Couldn't find anything cleanly as here comes EXEN on the, or excuse me, Valokuitunen on the other end. Turned over as Aro picks it up. He has some space down the left boards. Goes back to Tunkelia. Tunkelia holds it at the left corner and gives it up to Lundstrom at the point. Shot on there, another shot, another chance, but that one was picked up. Less than a minute to play, full-time minute here in overtime. Benito had it, but lost it. Lundstrom controls it and gives it to Moser to break it in. Goes up to Indy, got it in the offensive zone, but not for long as Domi forced the turnover. Benito up to Piku Roger, back to Benito. Benito to the point to Domi. Gives it back to Benito again. Holds it at the left corner, looking for a passing option. 23 seconds remain. Domi at the point now. Back down to Benito. They're working between each other. Shot on, another chance. Puck loose in front, and it's picked up by Kazu. And he'll freeze it here. Another dangerous chance there in favor of Valokuitunen. 16 seconds remaining. Face off one in the defensive zone by EXEN. That's a big one there by Tunkelia. Struggled on the dot here in this game so far. Turned over the neutral zone. Here comes Valokuitunen on the other end. Pass was picked off there by Moja, who will just hold this puck, kill off the rest of the time, and one overtime not enough. We're going to have the second game of these semifinals to go in the multiple overtimes. We are still all knotted up at one. You get a look at the save earlier that deflected. Nearly found his way past Vincere, but he was sharp to make that save. I believe that was early in the overtime period. It's going to be interesting to see the stats. And again, same story. Valokuitunen dominating the zone time. Not many shots on net considering their zone time, but they've been fine with that so far. EXEN continuing to kind of slowly but surely gain offensive opportunities. They've not had a lot of time in the zone considering that we've played for 80 minutes, but when they've been there, they've taken advantage of it. Two-shot difference between the two, 11-13 in favor of Valokuitunen. Time on attack, however, much different. Valokuitunen almost a full period's worth of time on attack, 18+ minutes. EXEN just a little bit under 8. So overtime number 2 is back underway. EXEN moving in the offensive zone, giving chase and chopped over to Domi as Valokuitunen will take over. Benito gives it to Nicky Dangles. Tried to hit Teemu on that other side, but he couldn't do so. Domi still in possession here. Piku Roger. Pass to Benito. Tried to hit a cutting Piku Roger behind him, but a puck loose in front. Picked up by Tunkelia. Lundstrom with it now. Bumped off of that puck there by Piku Roger, and Valokuitunen take over once again. Not a lot in the offensive zone for either side here so far in the early goings. Oh, that was dangerous as Vincere will go have to play that one out. Finds a teammate, and now EXEN are in the offensive zone. Tunkelia control at the corner boards. Finds the way to Moser, shot on, goes wide. Still picked up by Ardo, so EXEN in the zone, but turned over, and a potential 2-on-1 here for Valokuitunen. Piku Roger got the one goal earlier for Valokuitunen in the first period. Didn't find anything there on that trip to the zone. A forced reset there by EXEN as they have nothing in front of them at the blue line. Lundstrom skates in, gives it to Ardo. Ardo to Tunkelia. Goes to the left corner board. Behind the net now is a shot on, hits the back of the net. Puck loose and found by Valokuitunen. Teemu skates with speed. Teemu shot on, potential rebound, but it was scooped up by Kazu before Valokuitunen could get it. He plays that out, and EXEN now coming on a counterattack. Moser controls it. Moser move his way past the Valokuitunen defense, and the puck finds his way to Ardo. He's bumped off of it by Teemu, and now Teemu comes in on the rush. Opposite end, he's in the offensive zone now. Pass in the middle was picked off and away by EXEN. As it has been a defensive stalemate here in these two overtimes. Turned over, however, a shot on, blocked in front. The forecheck of Valokuitunen gives them another possession. Domi at the point. Gates in, gives to Benito. Goes back to Domi. Domi goes back to the point, circles around and gives it back to Benito. Benito in front to Pico Roger, couldn't get a shot off. Now EXEN gets into the offensive zone for themselves, but once again, not for long, and those have been the possessions for EXEN that have hurt them. Big reason why they haven't had that zone time. Tunkelia gets it back, gives it to Indy. They're in the zone now. Moves at the point. Pass across, shot on the one-timer, save made by Fincere. A one-shot trip in the zone for EXEN as Valokuitunen get it out, but EXEN picks it back up. They'll have to find their way back in. Tunkelia does so. He's at the left boards now with the puck. Skate to the cross, shot on, blocker save made there by Fincere. That was Indy to put that on net. Another one-shot trip. Domi with it, pass across, bumped off of that puck there, was Nicky Dangles. EXEN on the counterattack. Tunkelia with it, bumped from behind, turned over, picked up by Pico Roger, and now to Nicky Dangles. It's him and Benito between the legs. Deke, another Deke, shot on, save by Kazu. He'll hold on and freeze it in a period that has not had many stoppages so far. 3:50 to go in overtime 2. Still looking for the winner. Valokuitunen over 20 minutes of time on attack, but just one goal so far to show for it. Face-off won by Valokuitunen. Domi at the point, gives it to Nicky Dangle, skates in, goes down low. Pico Roger now holds it, gives it back to Benito, controls it behind the net, moves it up to Domi. Domi at the corner board, looking to reverse course, and he does. Gives it back to Temu, shot on, save made by Kazu, and he will freeze it once again. 2:20 remaining now, 140 seconds left here. In overtime number 2, could we see another game go to triple overtime? We're nearing it right now. Defensive zone faceoff won by Tunkelia. EXEN now controls possession. Turned over, however, in the neutral zone. Pico Roger at the left boards, gives it up to Benito, who crosses the blue line. Back to Domi at the point. Domi shot on, blocked in front, puck loose! Found by Kazu again, with less than a minute to play. He'll once again hold on to it and freeze it. Another offensive zone draw upcoming for Valokuitunen. It's to the left side of Kazu, the right side of Valokuitunen's offensive zone. They had it in front, but it was poked away, and EXEN finds it. Tunkelia in the neutral zone. Tried to self-pass off the boards, but to no avail. And here's a chance for Pico Roger. One-on-one, backhand shot. Easy save made by Kazu. A nice back check there defensively by EXEN. He plays it, and it's turned over by EXEN, but they do get it back as Pico Roger was bumped off from behind. Indy in the offensive zone for EXEN. Loses it off of a hit from Domi. 30 seconds left in overtime 2. Valokuitunen in. Shot on, gloved away by Kazu. He plays it out. That was a shot from Nicky Dangles. Moja in the zone. Shot on, swept away off of the stick of Fincere. 15 seconds now. Valokuitunen control it. Domi waiting for his teammates to touch back up on an offside warning, and they do. They break in now. Nicky Dangles to Benito. 5 seconds left. 2-on-2. EXEN get it on the turnover. Shot on, not in time, but a penalty late on Valokuitunen. It's a tripping call. So EXEN will go on the power play as we begin the third overtime period. Our second game of the semifinals that will make it to 3 overtimes. A massive call late, a tripping going to go against Valokuitunen. I didn't see who exactly took the penalty, but you saw it there at the end. The body of one of the Valokuitunen skaters going for that poke check animation, a trip up there of an EXEN player. The power play animation on the score bug in the bottom left corner, and EXEN now with a massive opportunity to steal this game with a power play goal. We get for overtime number 3. 3 periods, 4 periods, 5 periods, not enough to decide this one. Tie up in the neutral zone, but it's found first by Valokuitunen. His team will dump it in, and will be found immediately by Lundstrom. Now Indy has it. Gives it to Nkelia. Back to Lundstrom at the left point. Gives it up to Mosja, who skates in at the faceoff circle. Back to Lundstrom. Lundstrom skates in. Lundstrom has a cross. Puck was loose, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 now for EXEN. Another tripping call. This time, it's going to go against Benito. So Benito and Nicky Dangles are now both in the box. As you see right there, just the scrum in front. This is a golden opportunity that EXEN cannot let slip away. Their season could be on the line if they do. Shot on from Indy, saved by by Facete. At the point is Mosja. Tried to hit Ardo, but he couldn't get anything with it, and it's cleared out by Valokuitunen. 30 seconds left now in the 5-on-3 power play for EXEN. Mosja in the zone. Taking his time, skating in. Goes back to Lundstrom, who gives it back to Mosja. Back to Lundstrom, they work between each other at the point. One-time shot, loose in front. Puck still loose, but found by Facete. As Nicky Dangles now out of the box. So a 5-on-4. EXEN not able to score with the 2-man advantage. Still some time here, though, on the power play. 44 seconds. Face off to the right of Facete. Tied up, down by EXEN. Ardo at the left boards, gives it up over to Lundstrom. He skates in. Lundstrom loses it, but it's found by Mosja at the right side. Gives it to Indy at the right corner board, who gets it back to Mosja at the point. Now to Nkelia at the high slot. Shot on from an odd angle. Easy save by Facete, in this power play not going the way EXEN would have hoped. As a timeout going to be called by Valokuitunen as full pressure was nearing for EXEN. You see the stats there. Nearly 22 minutes of time on attack for Valokuitunen. EXEN just a little bit over 10. And if EXEN not able to find the goal here in the next minute and change with this man advantage and potentially with their offensive zone time in this sequence, it is going to feel like a squandered chance here in triple overtime of game 3. They have 1 second left here on the man advantage. They win it, but it goes all the way in the neutral zone. That will do it for the power play. A lost opportunity for EXEN could have come back to haunt them. They're in the offensive zone now, though. To Nkelia. Pass across in front. Couldn't find anyone cleanly, but Ardo ends up getting a shot on. Saved by Facete. Found by Mosja at the point. He gives it up to Indy. He's bumped off that puck, and it's going to be another power play for EXEN. This time, it's Domi to the box. Another penalty for Valokuitunen is going to be boarding. It was that hit there at the end. As you see it right there. Valokuitunen, they're not going to be happy with that. Probably wouldn't blame them, but nevertheless, another power play chance for EXEN. Tie up, found by Ardo. Lundstrom at the left point, skating it in, gives it to Mosja. One time, score! Indy wins it in triple OT for EXEN, and they stay alive in the series, 2-1. A massive victory for EXEN off of the stick of Indy. A power play goal in triple overtime keeps the hopes alive for EXEN on the one-timer. Facete just not able to glove that one in. As you get a look at the replay, wide open space for Indy. As 3-0 would have been quite difficult for EXEN, but 2-1, very much in the realm of possibility. As a 2-1 overtime victory for EXEN, they steal game 3. And you get a look at it there, 3 players were just right in front of the net. Valokuitunen just caught a bit off there defensively. And EXEN took full advantage. A 2-1 victory in triple overtime in favor of EXEN. They cut the series lead of Valokuitunen to 2-1. And you'll get a look at the stats here. Phenomenal goaltending on both sides. An 89 save percentage from Facete, 94 from Kazu. How good was he? And you can't help but to go back to that chance in overtime that Nicky Dangles had. He got the pass over from one of his forwards, had a wide open net, Not sure if he had to gather it or if he didn't expect it and held on to it too long, but a wide open net, he couldn't get the shot off in time and he ended up losing it. We said that that was one that would have been the game if he had gotten that shot off. And how much one little play and one little mishap can change a series. EXEN wins in triple overtime, and it was on this goal right here. And you see just a lot of bodies in the same place there for Valokuitunen, just not covering enough on the EXEN power play. Everyone was stacked up there in the middle, left Indy wide open for that one-timer. And it gives EXEN a bit of new life. A 2-1 triple OT victory, cutting this series to 2-1. And now game 4, a lot more interesting. As Valokuitunen going to look to try to take a 3-1 lead. EXEN going to try to look to knock this series up at 2. We're going to take a few minutes to collect ourselves as these two teams get set up for game 4. My friends, you just saw amazing action, and that was just our first game of the cast today. You're not going to want to miss this game 4, so do not go away. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor. We will be right back in just a few moments with the puck drop of game 4.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back underway after a thrilling triple overtime. EXEN wins it 2-1 off of the stick of Indy. They make it a 2-1 series and a massive game 4 now on tap because of it. As both teams are ready, we are lined up, and Valokuitunen going to look to respond with a 3-1 series lead after dropping that one. They felt like that one was right in their hands, more than likely could be up 3-0 with a chance to close it out now, but EXEN pushing the issue, a resilient fight back as we are underway. EXEN got that first possession, but lost it immediately as they tried to cross the blue line. Nicky Dangles now controls it and gives it to Tamu at the corner. Now to Domi at the point and goes to Pika Roger. It looks like we finally might have the names fixed. That was a bit of a confusing thing for a couple of us there in the last game as Lundstrom controls at the point, evades two defenders nicely as they score on it. Ardo with the quick goal. We apologize there for the freeze, but EXEN wasting no time after winning in triple OT the game before. As you can see, they cycle it around in a rip of a one-timer there from Ardo. Beats Vincente clean, that gold X-Factor one-T ability. And a pitch-perfect start for EXEN, exactly what the doctor ordered. As Valokuitunen now with possession. This is the first time all series that they have trailed in regulation. Or really, actually have trailed at all for that matter, as the overtime not counting towards a lead or time leading. So this is the first time that Valokuitunen have found themselves down in this series. And the first goal just 3 minutes in. Trying to respond with a goal, but Tunkelia wins the puck battle over the corner board, and Moser now controls it. Skates in, goes back over to Ardo. Another chance. Shot was blocked, but still now controlling it is Indy. The Game 3 overtime hero. Lost it, however, and now here comes Valokuitunen on the counter. Benito gives it to Domi. Domi at the point stops and loses it. And now force a reset for Valokuitunen. Nice defense here from EXEN, giving Valokuitunen some troubles. That could have been a breakaway if EXEN were able to pick that up on the puck battle, but that one not to be. Tamu in the ozone now. Tried to hit, I believe that was Benito, but could not do so cleanly as puck loose in front, but found by Lundstrom. Moster controlling it, trying to force his way through the right boards, but nothing was there for him. Pika Roger shot on, blocked away there by Kazu. EXEN with it, and they get out of their own zone cleanly. This looks like a different EXEN team right now. That win in Game 3 giving them a bit of a jolt here in this series, playing with more pep in their step than I think we've seen all series. This looks a lot more like the quarterfinals team we saw. As Valokuitunen in the zone, couldn't find anything there, and we'll end up in turnover. Here comes Moja on the other end. Moja controlling it, looking for something, passed over to Indy. Tried to shoot it, but they get it back. Another shot on. Save made that time by Vincente. Nicky Dangles controls it. As we do again apologize for some of the freezing. We're doing what we can to get that cleaned up for you. As Pika Roger has it right now in the offensive zone over at the right point. Finds his way to Tamu, and Domi ends up with it. Domi to Pika Roger now. Pika Roger shot on, saved by Kazu. Still in control of it, or Valokuitunen. Benito in front, shot was blocked. Lundstrom gives it up to Ardo. Ardo bumped off of that puck. A nice defensive play made there on the back check from Tamu. And here comes Valokuitunen. Nicky Dangles at the left boards. Right side for them, left side for us. Tamu skates it in. Puck was in front. Shot on. Saved by Kazu. He was sprawling there a little bit. And a penalty going to be taken by EXEN. A tripping call going to go against Ardo. And that will be a power play opportunity for Valokuitunen. Remember, Valokuitunen, they have struggled on the man advantage this postseason. Their power play under 10% coming into the series. They've converted on just one power play goal on multiple opportunities so far in this series. Trying to change their fortunes here. They were 29.5% in the regular season. Tamu with the point. Skates in. Pass across was picked off by Moja, but he can't clear it, so Domi sticks it in the offensive zone. Gives it to Tamu, opposite point. Down low to Nicky Dangles, back to Tamu. Shot on, easy save made by Kazu. He will hold and freeze as a timeout going to be taken by EXEN as Valokuitunen was nearing that full pressure. Gives us the moment to check out the stats as the passing about as near perfect as you can get for EXEN. They've not turned the puck over much. While for Valokuitunen continuing to dominate the zone time, dominate the possession game, but they've not been able to take advantage for the most part. Just one goal in their last game, just 2 goals in the first 2 games. Give credit to EXEN. They have, despite giving up a lot of zone time, have done a great job at making Valokuitunen work for their chances. Face-off won the offensive end by Valokuitunen. Nicky Dangles gives it to Tamu behind them at the point. Now the Domi, the Pika Roger shot on, patted away there by Kazu. EXEN trying to get it out. Moja controls it, and they do as Lundstrom has it in the neutral zone, trying to work his way past the defenders. Puck loose in the zone and is cleared out by Ardo. Nice play there as the power play for Valokuitunen comes to an end. As a slap shot on the breakaway. This is Indy. Bam! What a save made by Vincere. A diving poke check. Would have been a massive second goal for EXEN. Lundstrom will slow things down. What about that save by Vincere? The Omaha play worked to perfection. As an offside called on EXEN there. 3 shots on net. 2 of the 3 have either been goals or near goals. Vincere keeping this one in a 1-goal advantage here. Domi at the point for Valokuitunen. Gives it down low to Nicky Dangles, who reverses it to the opposite side point, but no one home. It'll force a reset with 35 seconds remaining in the first period. Valokuitunen going to have to act quickly as they crossed the blue line, but didn't keep it. Another big slap shot play for pass. Ardo gets it. Ardo shot on, gloved away by Vincere. And he'll hold it just 1 second remaining here. So a face off and pretty much nothing more going to happen on this one. Won by Benito. He'll pad the stats just a little bit. And that will do it for the first period. EXEN with the opening goal of the game. Ardo, just 3 minutes in, gets the one-timer past Vincere, and EXEN leads Valokuitunen 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Take a look at the stats. Slight increase from when EXEN had that pause on the penalty kill. Got 2 more shots, a few more seconds of time on attack. Valokuitunen got significantly more time on attack. 4.5 minutes in period 1 alone. Again, that has been the theme throughout this series. EXEN dominating the possession, but EXEN just continuing to hang around as Valokuitunen just take that zone time. It's the second period now underway. Face off one in the neutral zone by Valokuitunen. Benito gives it up to Nicky Dangles. Goes to Domi to cross the blue line. Domi stops at the point, gives to Tamu, finds Nicky Dangles. Nicky Dangles down low behind the net to Piku Roger. Piku Roger to Domi. Domi looking for space. Goes to the corner board and gives it back to Tamu at the point. Now to Nicky Dangles. Benito behind the net. Searching for something. This is that patience for Valokuitunen that gives them that zone time. You're seeing it live right now. As Piku Roger goes to Benito. Shot on. Gloved away there from Kazu. He'll hold on and freeze it. And possessions like that are what Valokuitunen have done all series long, but EXEN just not really allowing for those quick and easy opportunities. Give Kazu a manageable shot on net. He makes the save, and the process repeats itself. EXEN wins the defensive zone draw. And Indy gets it on the right boards. They're in the offensive zone. Tukelia tries to pass in the front, but it was deflected away by Domi. He gives it up to Nikki Dangles, who crosses the blue line. Goes to Piku Roger, finds Domi behind him. Domi skates in. Domi circles around and goes behind the net to Piku Roger. Piku Roger to corner board, odd angle shot, easy save by Kazu, but Valokuitunen still pushing. Benito in the slot, shot off from Piku Roger, blockered away by Kazu. Kazu continuing to be phenomenal. Turnover for EXEN, shot on, gloved away by Kazu again. And he'll hold it again for the freeze, a turnover caused by Valokuitunen's forecheck. Looked like Nikki Dangles may have had the tying goal, but a better shot met with a better save. Full pressure for Valokuitunen. Piku Roger pass across. It looked like it was actually saved by Kazu. Tamu to Benito. Another shot on. Another save by Kazu. EXEN have to get this out. They can't clear it. Tukelia does get it this time, and now they will move it into the offensive zone. This will be dumped in by Indy, given chase in the battle for the puck. Won there by Ardo. Chopped it away, but it was turned over as Valokuitunen got to the chop. Tamu in the neutral zone, moves it in on an errant pass. As being hit off of that puck there was Moja. Valokuitunen in the zone, sorry, they score! Benito from the slot, the captain for Valokuitunen, ties this up at one apiece. And with the pressure they had applied, EXEN being low on stamina, you just felt that it was a matter of time as Benito got some sort of accomplishment as the entire Valokuitunen team meet him for the tying goal. But nevertheless, a 1-1 game. That's the first goal for Valokuitunen in about 6.5 periods of play. They scored in the first period of game 1. The game went to triple overtime. That was the only goal they scored. They were blanked in the first period of this game and through half of the second period. But they finally break the drought halfway through game 4. 1-1 now your score is. Benito takes his in-game accomplishment. Takes his wave, thanks the crowd of EXEN, and we're now back underway as Domi has it in the zone. Benito gets a Piku Roger, shot on, saved by Kazu, puck still loose, nice to Kazu, Benito has it. Moja ends up finding it afterwards. Lundstrom bumped off the puck, turned over, shot on from Benito at an odd angle save. Benito gets it back, another full pressure, but EXEN bailed out as the pass goes errant. Forces a reset, kills the full pressure of Valokuitunen. Crushing there to see that there if you're a fan of them. EXEN catches a lucky break, but can they take advantage? Dumped in by Indy. Moja gives it back to Indy. Indy shot there from the point by Lundstrom, but he didn't get all of it. Moja has it. Now to Indy, over to Ardo. Ardo finds Indy, a sneaky little pass, backhand shot, easy save made by Fincere. He plays it, but Tukelia gets it. Moja at the point to Lundstrom. Lundstrom skates in, finds Tukelia, pass in front, puck loose, battle for, found by Fincere in the scrum. He'll freeze it. With 5:13 to play in period 2. We're tied at 1 after the goal by Benito. Benito 80% at the face-off dot so far in this game. Tie up 1 towards Nikki Dangles. Benito has it in the neutral zone. Gives it to Tamu. Piku Roger. Piku Roger skates towards the middle. Shot on. Saved by Kazu. Piku Roger gets it back. Puck was lost, however, and Tukelia gets it and finds Ardo, who has lots of space on the left side. Goes over to Lundstrom. Puck loose to the right side. As Fincere will end up finding it on a what looked to be a second chance shot. Save it and freeze. Limited time here remains in the second period. Valokuitunen have dominated this one. 10 shots compared to 2 for EXEN. They have been all over them here. And they got the tying goal to show for it. A 1-1 game. Just like what we saw in game 3. Nikki Dangles gives it Piku Roger a breakaway. Nice back check. Puck loose in the blue paint, but no one was there to poke it in. EXEN escapes. Ardo backhand shot, poke check from behind. They still control it. Arlo in front of the net, back in. What a save by Vincere! He blockered it away! Robbery there by the Valokuitunen netminder. 5 seconds remain. Last chance for Valokuitunen to get something. They don't. Arlo looking to counter. They have a chance, but the shot will not find itself towards the net. That will do it for period 2. Dangerous chance for each side there in the last couple of minutes. Puck was loose in the blue line, or excuse me, in the blue paint. One poke check and it was in the net for Valokuitunen, but no one was there for it. And then Vincere keeps the game at bay with that save that you saw right there. Phenomenal hockey that we are seeing here in the last 2 games, as we were knotted up all even at 1 apiece after 40 minutes. To get a look at the stats, Valokuitunen dominant in this game. Lots of shots, lots of zone time. Just have not been able to find their way past the 1 goal mark through a lot of these games. And you're going to have to here as EXEN have 1 goal themselves. It was in the first 3 minutes of period 1. Zardo had the 1T to give his team the early lead, but it's a tie situation now. EXEN trying to find another to tie this series. A huge swing game in this series. EXEN trying to tie the 2 apiece after being down 2-0 in the series. Valokuitunen trying to really get this series in their hands with a 3-1 advantage. Who's going to be able to do which? Benito's in the offensive zone. He's bumped off of it but gets it back. Lost it again, however, and this time it will go to EXEN. Moja in the offensive zone as he crosses the blue line. Tried to pass it in over to Ardo, but he couldn't find him cleanly. Does so. Ardo wins the puck. Puck was in front. Vincere had to be sharp for that. Found it in the traffic and will hold on for the whistle. It's off to the left of Vincere, right side of the offensive zone for EXEN. Won again by Benito. He has been stellar at draws. Easy, quick breakout shot on. It was just wide, as that was a great breakout pass there from the defender. EXEN now in the zone. It's a pass across shot, just wasn't there, however. Couldn't connect on that pass over to Ardo in front. EXEN control it. A little bit over 5 minutes through it this 3rd period. Benito gives the Pico Roger in the offensive zone for Valokuitunen. Gives it back to Benito. Benito shot on, easy save by Kazu. Valokuitunen still in possession. Nicky Dangles behind the net. Gives it up as here comes Tunkelia. He has some friends with him. As Indy tried to hit a cutter in Moja, but could not find him. Here comes Benito on the counterattack. Goes behind the Domi at the point, who skates in the slot. Shot on by save there. Play it out as rapid pace here. Kazu wants to keep it going. Tried to hit Ardo on the 1T, but could not find him in stride. Here comes Tamu on the other end. Tamu with some space. Puck loose in front. Found, however, by Tunkelia as Ardo has it at the left boards. Ardo holding it. Tried to shoot it, but was poke checked from behind before he could get it off of his stick. Domi will slow things down. It's Benito in the middle, who gives it immediately to Pico Roger next to him. Pico Roger behind the net. Goes to Benito. Puck loose, but found back to Pico Roger. Pico Roger bump from behind. Goes to Domi. Puck loose in front. Nicky Dangles finds a shot on. Puck scrum for, and Kazu gets control of it. And we'll hold on for a stoppage. We're still tied at 1, over halfway through this 3rd. Face off to the left of Kazu. It's won by Valokuitunen momentarily, but lost on the tie-up attempt. They reset. Tamu to Domi. Domi back to Tamu, over to Nicky Dangles. Back to the point to Domi, who loses it as it'll be cleared out by Aro. Tamu will reset things. Light forecheck here from EXEN as a nice turnover caused by Lundstrom, but Valokuitunen get it back, and now they're going to try to take advantage of the aggression of EXEN. Pico Roger gets a pass, and a penalty going to be called. It's going to go against EXEN, so a power play upcoming for Valokuitunen. That'll be Moja, I believe, called for charging. Yes, it's Moja, so the right defender going to the box. 2 minutes for charging is That's just the tail end of it, but he looked like he took 3 or 4 strides there, so probably the right call. And Valokuitunen, a team that have struggled on the power play in the series and in these playoffs, have a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game with that man advantage. Face off to the right side of Kazu. It was cleared out there by EXEN, and Valokuitunen get it back in the zone. Domi at the point. Thought about skating in, but will give it up to Pico Roger at the left boards. Shot on from Teemu at the point, blocked in front. Puck loose in the corner board, battle won by Valokuitunen. Teemu to Domi. Skates in. Nika Dangles had a shot on, but it was blocked in front. Excuse me, poke check. That is a shot on. They score! The cycle continued. EXEN unable to clear it. Nika Dangles beats Kazu. And Valokuitunen score to take the lead for the first time in Game 4, 2-1. You get a look at the replay there. Pass from the opposite side over to Nicky Dangles. He wears that gold helmet for a reason. He led this team in points in the regular season. And he gives Valokuitunen the lead late in the third. 5 minutes to go. Does EXEN have a response in them? They need one. Tunkelia has it for a moment, but he's bumped from behind, and it will be cleared and reset. Lundstrom controls it. Talked about limiting mistakes for EXEN. A bad penalty from Moser leads to a penalty, which leads to a power play goal. Those are the things you cannot do against the defending champions of Valokuitunen. Moser controls at the point, gives it to Lundstrom. Lundstrom looking for space. Valokuitunen swarming on defense. They force a turnover. It's a breakaway for Domi. Him and Kazu one-on-one. He slows down, goes backhand, and he scores! The potential dagger from the defenseman, Domi. It's a 2-goal lead for Valokuitunen. Domi with his first goal of the playoffs. It comes on a breakaway. He had 5 in the regular season. And that just feels like a knife in the heart of EXEN, who led for half of this game. We're tied until 5 minutes left. And ever since that penalty, things have just come to unravel here for this EXEN side, as they're pressuring another potential odd-man rush, but a save made by Kazu. Teemu was the one to put on a move and shoot it. 1 minute remaining here in period 3. It'll take a miracle for EXEN. We've seen some crazy things happen in this league. We add one more piece of it. Moser controls it behind the net. Spin move goes to the point, but no one was there. It's going to force a reset and more time killed off the clock. Turnover, breakaway for Pico Roger. Forehand, he scores! Valokuitunen with 4 unanswered goals, 3 in the last 5 minutes. And if you question whether they'd finish the job, that should put those questions to rest. As Kazu went for the desperation save, tried the flying poke check. Pico Roger guessed right, beat him. And the scoreline will end up flattering Valokuitunen a little bit. This was a much tighter game than what the 4-1 score will indicate. But the better team likely going to win this one. As Kazu will just play this out. 25 seconds remaining. As Valokuitunen has possession. Lost it immediately as Tunkelia gets it. Tried to move that up to Ardo, but couldn't find him. Pico Roger at the boards. Big hit there by Lundstrom. Forced him to lose it, but he gets it back from Benito. Shot on. Save made by Kazu. That was Nicky Dangles in front to put that on net. Another chance. Pico Roger pass in front to Nicky Dangles. He hesitated. Could have been a goal if he didn't. Got the shot on, but Kazu made the better save. And that will do it. Valokuitunen Esports, it wasn't pretty early, but they kept at it, found their game, found the goals that they had been looking for in the late stages. They win 4-1 in a big Game 4. And they are now in the driver's seat with a 3-1 series lead. 1 victory away from a second straight finals appearance. Defending champs, defending their crown admirably so far. 7 wins down, 12 more to go. Or excuse me, 5 more to go after 12 out of 12. As Valokuitunen with a great performance in that third period. Get a look at the goals that gave them the advantage down the stretch. That is a crushing defeat there for EXEN, who got great goaltending from Kazu, a 22 save performance. Valokuitunen, though, undoubtedly the better team. More shots on net than we've seen from them, I believe, in all of the first few games combined, potentially. I'd have to double check that stat to see, but definitely more than what we saw from them in a triple overtime game earlier, and more than what we saw in the first two games. So if you add all those up, it probably isn't far off from 26 shots. That was the goal that tied things up from Benito. And then the late power play for Valokuitunen. That's just a little bit of space there for Nicky Dangles. Gets him on the one-timer, and that breakaway goal by Domi was the dagger. And then just insult to injury here as Pika Roger scores on the breakaway to beat Kazu. So you saw how it happened. Valokuitunen take over in the third period. They win 4-1. They take a 3-1 series lead. We'll bring you back into the booth. Brandon B. Major Bigsby with you as Valokuitunen going to look to shut things out here in game number 5. A 3-1 series lead. 1 win away from the finals. EXEN now at a steep hill to climb, but we've seen these comebacks before. Gotta take it one period and one game at a time. We'll see if they can do it, starting with game 5. We're going to take a short break and hear a quick word from our sponsor, Coven. I'm not going to see. Don't go away. We'll have puck drop to game 5 right after the break.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Everything just seems
just seconds away as Valokuitunen and Esports have a chance to wrap up the series and a potential chance to clinch their spot into the semifinals. EXEN, on the other hand, their season is now officially on the line here. A loss ends their run in the semifinals. They're going to look to avoid that by at least one more game. A steep hill to climb to make the comeback happen, but 3 games in a row, not impossible. We'll see who gets the win here as we're underway. Valokuitunen and Esports win the opening faceoff as Pico Roger dumps it in the offensive zone. It's found by Benito behind the net. Tried to pass that in front rather quickly, but could not find anything there. Goes down low to Pico Rogers. A puck loose in front, found by EXEN. Mozja at the right board, skates it in. Tried to cut in front, but there was really no room for him there. Nice defense from Valokuitunen. Domi to Nicky Dangles. Tries to go back to Teemu, but has some trouble getting to that, but Nicky Dangles does find it. Reverses it to the opposite side point, and Domi gets it. Skates in, goes to Benito. Benito at the high slot. Passes it back, but no one available for it. And EXEN will force the turnover. Kelly at the right boards. Goes around behind the net. Finds his way to the point. Held by Indy. Shot on, was blocked in front. But it's found by Ardo. So EXEN still pushing. Puck loose. Shot on, they score! It's going to be waved off for now. It looked like there may have been goaltender interference there on Fincete. And yep, right there. Dukelia was camped out in front. Just got a piece Fincete there. We'll see what the official call is. And it will be waved off. Tough break there for EXEN. So the opening goal nullified and will remain at a 0-0 score. 5 minutes through and we've already had some action. Valokuitunen trying to respond with the opening goal themselves, but not able to as EXEN get possession. And he gives it to Lonstrom. Pass across. No one was there for it, but the puck was in front. Now here comes Valokuitunen on the counter. Benito down the middle, gives it back to Domi behind him. At the point, goes to Teemu next to him. Shot on, tipped by a few bodies in front. Almost trickled its way in. EXEN avert danger, and they'll move it up into the neutral zone. Bumped off the puck at the blue line. A hit there taken by Mozja. Turned over, and Valokuitunen get it. Domi to Pico Roger. Goes down low, finds Benito at the post, but nothing was there for him as Valokuitunen still with it. Teemu finds space, shot on by Nicky Dangles, and it was saved by Kazu. He'll freeze it. Offensive draw now for Valokuitunen. To the left side of Kazu. Tie up, one by Nicky Dangles between the legs. Deke tried to dance his way through a pair of EXEN defenders, but couldn't hit it. As here come EXEN on the other end. Turned over in the offensive zone, and Pico Roger gets possession. Pico Roger holds it, stops, turns, goes towards the middle, shot on, was blocked by a defender in front, and EXEN picks it up, but loses it almost immediately. Teemu with it now. Tiptoes past the blue line, but it's turned over. A 2-on-1 for EXEN. Aro pass across. Nice defensive play from Domi. That cross crease a little bit too telegraphed there by EXEN. Domi knew it all the way. What makes them the best in the world. Onstrom gives it to Mozja. Finds its way over to the right winger of Indy, but it's turned over as you're just seeing why Valokuitunen have been touted as the best team in Europe. They're amazing offensively. They control the game, but when they do have those little bitty slip-ups, they're always able to recover. You saw it there on that play from Domi. Benito has it, skates in front, couldn't find anything. Puck still loose there, but Lonstrom ends up finding it. Ardo skates it in past the blue line. He holds it, gives it down low to Kelly in front. Shot on was found by Fincete, who hold on to it for the whistle with 2:55 to play in period 1. Offensive zone face-off here upcoming for EXEN. To the right of Fincete. One cleanly to the point. Shot was blocked by a pair of defenders as Mozja was the one that ripped it from the point there. Less than 2 minutes now. Lundstrom controls it. Ozja working it. Gets it past the blue line. Stops. Tries to dump it in, but it was picked up by Benito, who shoots it up for a pass. 3-on-1. Nikki Dangles pass across and they score! Piku Roger puts it in for the game's opening goal. Beautiful play there from Valokuitunen. And they strike first late in the first period. And give some credit to Benito. The shot pass up the boards finds Domi, who gives it to Nikki Dangles. Nikki Dangles with a beautiful pass across to Piku Roger. EXEN just not able to disrupt that play. And with just 51 seconds to go in the opening frame, Valokuitunen take the early lead. Looking for more now here. Nikki Dangles shot on, save made by Kazu. 10 seconds now. Domi at the left point. Lost it but found Teemu. 3 seconds now. Teemu to Piku Roger. Shot on from a far angle. Puck was loose in front. Picked up by Tunkelia. And that will do it for the first period of Game 5. Valokuitunen Esports lead 1-0. Looking on their way potentially to a spot in the finals. It was this goal right here from Piku Roger that gave them the advantage with just 51 seconds remaining in the first period. As EXEN going to have to do some discussing, do a little bit of searching to, at bare minimum, tie this game up. They're going to have to try to find a winner here as well. See the stats, and I mean, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but each game seems like it's been the same story. Valokuitunen just dominating the possession, winning the possession game, dominating the zone time. They typically have not had the shots to match up with it outside of that Game 4, but again, we talked with Benito before this broadcast started, and he said that that wasn't something that bothered him. They've looked to cycle it around. They were happy with the amount of shots that they've been getting, and so far that plan of patience has worked out well for them. A 3-1 series lead and a 1-0 lead here in Game 5. Can they hold on? Still a long way to go as period number 2 is now underway. Piku Roger has it, has some space. Just pass across, shot on. May have been saved, may have been partially blocked, but nevertheless, it ends up in the glove of Kazu, who will freeze it. Another offensive draw now for Valokuitunen. To the left of Kazu. One cleanly in the defensive zone by Tunkelia. Monster moves this up and gives it to Ozja. They're in the offensive zone, but lost it immediately. And now here comes Valokuitunen on the counter. Nikki Dangles with speed. Gets it back from Benito. Goes to Domi at the point, who gives it to Teemu. Teemu down to Nikki Dangles. Behind the net, lost it, but gets it back. First is up to the point to Teemu, who lost it, but it was found and retrieved by Domi. But turned over, and now EXEN with a chance here. 4-on-4. Ozja, past the blue line, skates it into the right corner. Goes back over to Tunkelia. Shot on, a lot of traffic in front, it's blocked. Lundstrom has it at the left point. Turned over. Teemu. A Piku Roger, but lost immediately. Nice defense from Lundstrom, but it's turned over again as Piku Roger draws a trip. A little L2 move if he was cutting towards the net. Draws a penalty, and that's going to go against Tunkelia. And a power play upcoming now for Valokuitunen Esports. Remember, this was what gave them the game-winning goal in game number 4. It's on a penalty. It led to a power play goal. It's off. Goes awry, and that will be a reset now for Valokuitunen. Get back in. Domi. To Nikki Dangles. Couldn't get the shot off in time. As it's slapped away and cleared out by EXEN. Indy gives chase and wins that battle over Domi, but luckily for Domi, he had some help with Benito to get it back. Teemu skates it in the O-zone. Goes back to Domi behind him at the point. Now to Benito. Benito's pass goes off. It's going to force a reset. They basically cleared it for EXEN. 20 seconds left now on the Valokuitunen power play. Teemu at the point. Spins past the defender. Gets a one-time shot there from Piku Roger. Save made by Kazu. Piku Roger still in control. Shot on again. Blockered away by Kazu. Benito has it for a moment. It gets it back. Goes to Piku Roger. Shot. Goes wide. Lots of pressure from Valokuitunen. They forecheck. The late penalty called against EXEN, and some frustration showing as you saw Lundstrom taking the penalty, a tripping call. Dived on the ice right after. Maybe frustration starting to boil over a little bit from EXEN. Had the lead in game number 4 for more than half of the game. Lost it. Valokuitunen scored 4 unanswered, and now they're down 1-0 here in game 5 with their season on the line, and they're going to call a timeout here. Wisely so. As you take a look at the stats, and the stats backing up what we've seen on the ice so far. Valokuitunen with all the zone time, they've gotten a few shots in there too. EXEN just really not able to get anything going because they haven't been able to sustain themselves in the zone. It's off to the left of Kazu. Won by Valokuitunen. Teemu shot on, saved by Kazu. Another chance for Valokuitunen, goes wide. They still hold on to the puck as Nicky Dangles gives it to Domi. Domi to Teemu with the point, shot in front. Saved by Kazu again. Full pressure now for Valokuitunen. Pass and shot, saved by Kazu. Robbed Nicky Dangles on that play. Teemu still with it. Gives it to Nicky Dangles to Piku Roger. Tried to pass in front, no one there. EXEN has to clear it. Full pressure is active right now for Valokuitunen. Domi at the point, taking his time. Defended well, gives to Teemu. Teemu tried to pass across. Benito finds it, though, in the middle of the ice. Benito to Domi, to Piku Roger. Piku Roger to Teemu. Shot from the point, saved by Kazu. Puck loose, goes to the corner board. Aro will dump this away, and that will kill off the Valokuitunen power play. They did everything but score. Beautiful movement, great shots. But robberies from Kazu is a 2-on-1. Indy and Aro, shot from Aro, saved by Vincente. And he'll hold on and freeze it to stop play. So the quick counterattack for EXEN gave them a good chance, but they weren't able to find the back of the net. They get an offensive zone faceoff here, tied up, but found by Valokuitunen. It was initially won by EXEN. Valokuitunen in the offensive zone. Turned over. Found his way to Aro, now Tutelia gives it over, and it finds its way to Indy at the left boards. Indy pass across, finds Aro, shot goes behind the net. Puck loose and battle for it. It's poke check from Teemu, shot on, save made by Vincente. EXEN starting to pressure somewhat here, but here comes Valokuitunen on the counterattack. Puck lost and picked up by Lundstrom. Benito had it there momentarily, but couldn't hold on. Indy, he finds his way to Aro, shot on, puck loose in front. Battled for as Vincente will scoop that up and will hold on to it. Offensive zone face-off here for EXEN. The number is much more even to Tutelia and Benito. Benito wins that one. Piku Roger has it, stops, goes, shot on, they score! A beautiful move from Piku Roger to create the space. And Valokuitunen doubles their lead, a 2-0 scoreline. And it was off the stick of Piku Roger. He just beats Kazu glove side, and that one little turn, that simple turn that he made, gave him the space to get that shot off. And Piku Roger, he had 39 goals in the regular season. Finished second in the league. Finds one again in the postseason. His second of this game. 2-0 advantage for Valokuitunen, and now time's looking dire for EXEN, and another penalty going to be called against them too. Boy, this is starting to really unravel for them. Vincente goes into the net, goes into the bench rather, so a 6-on-5. Benito holds it. Down low, it's Piku Roger, puck loose. Kazu finds it. And will touch up on it as it will be a tripping penalty called against Tutelia. If Valokuitunen can score a goal on this power play, you have got to feel like it is desperation moments for EXEN. Late stages in the second period, Valokuitunen up by 2 with 2:27 remaining. They lead the series 3-1. If this score holds, they move on to the finals. They are 5 wins away from defending their championship crown. As a shot, and they score! Who else? Piku Roger yet again beats Kazu glove side. And a hat trick for Piku Roger. He has scored all 3. It's a 3-0 Valokuitunen Esports lead. It took little to no time on the power play. Took advantage of the space. You see the stick in front there by Indy, but just not able to do much with it. He took away space, but not the shooting lane. And just 9 seconds into the power play, Piku Roger buries it. Triples the lead. Valokuitunen up by 3. They're looking for more. Now it's Piku Roger again, but it was blocked in front. Here come EXEN on the counter. Ardo has it, gives it to Tuntelia. Puck loose. Can it find a play in the net? It's on the red line. Vincere stops it from going in, and he plays it out. Domi gives it to Teemu. Moves it up and finds Nicky Dangles. Nicky Dangles could not do much with it. Lost him on the counter. 5 seconds to play. Poke checked away there by Teemu. Nicky Dangles breakaway for Piku Roger. 1 second left. Shot. Save. Oh, no, they scored it. They scored it. Piku Roger, his 4th of the game. With virtually no time left. I thought Kazu gloved it away. It looked like he did. Oh, it went in off of his glove. Oh my! The initial save was made, but the glove may have crossed the red line or it went in off of his glove, but Piku Roger with goal number 4 in this game. He came into today with a total of 5 goals in the playoffs. He already has 4 in Game 5 alone. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood for Mr. Roger. 4 goals in the potential series-clinching game. As Valokuitunen up 4-0 after 40 minutes of play. And for EXEN, things have just unraveled for them here over the last, really 50 minutes of play. The last few minutes there of that third period of game number 4, and then unfortunately they just never really had it in this game. Thought maybe they had a chance when they tied it up in the last game and were able to make something happen, but this game just has not been there for them, unfortunately. As the third period now underway. A 4-0 lead for Valokuitunen. EXEN just looking to take it 1 possession at a time, but they have got to throw everything at him. Shot on. Vincere was out of position. Luckily, it was blocked in front there for Valokuitunen. Nicky Dangles passed across to Piku Roger. Tried to hit Nicky Dangles back, but it was blocked in front. Here comes EXEN on a counterattack. Ardo to Mosja. Over to Indy. Puck battle and found by Mosja behind them. Mosja at the point. Gives it to Tuntelia. You can see the sense of urgency in EXEN's play. As Vincere almost saw that one trickle past them, but he was able to squeeze those pads tight and keep it from crossing the red line. Offensive face-off here for EXEN. Tied up and 1. Shot on, save made easily by Vincere. He'll play this out. That's the sign of a confident goalkeeper right there. Here comes Benito. Shot on, goes wide. Eyeing the net with it right now is Domi. Gives it to Nicky Dangles at the point. Back to Domi. Domi down low to Piku Roger. Passed across. A little bit out of range for Nicky Dangles. And a penalty going to go against Benito. So a power play upcoming for EXEN. Captain for Valokuitunen going to go to the box. 2 minutes for interference. And so we'll get a look at the replay. It looked like it was that battle in front of the net there that drew it. And yeah, it was that one little push and shove. He knew it right after, too. Dived right after. So EXEN a chance to get on the board. Tie up. 1 in the offensive zone by EXEN. Domi gets it to Teemu as an easy clear off of Valokuitunen, and they have some room to go. Shot Nicky Dangles, they score! Beats Kazu on the backhand! Valokuitunen scoring in every which way. Nicky Dangles with the goal, the assist by Teemu, and a disaster power play, a disaster game 5 for EXEN. In what has been such a hard-fought series so far. An overtime loss in game 1, a close game 2, a triple overtime win in game 3, a close game 4 up until the last few minutes, and ever since then, it has just been tough sledding for EXEN. They do still have the power play, but allowing that shorthanded goal, that feels like that might be the final right there. It might just be the blow as a shot on was blocked in front. EXEN controlled in the zone. Rose just skates in, trying to find something. Tukelia in front of the net, couldn't find the puck, but he gets it behind the net. Battle 4 between him and Teemu. Tukelia wins it for a second, still loose. Pico Roger enters the fray. He clears it out nearly, but Mose gets this. The puck died there in his trail. Shot from Lundstrom for the point, blocked in front. Benito out of the box, and here's a 2-on-2. Benito has Nicky Dangles with a beautiful move. Tried to find that shot through. Could not. Here comes EXEN on the counter. 3-on-3. Passed over. Shot in front there. Fincere finds it. Hold on for the stoppage. 11:56 to go in the third period. Valokuitunen and Esports in full control. EXEN trying to at least closen this game up a little bit. Teemu moves it up to Domi. Nito now to Pico Roger. Has 4 of the 5 goals for Valokuitunen in this contest. Nito had it, but he was bumped off of that puck, and Tukelia will get it now for EXEN. Lundstrom to Tukelia. Now to Ardo with the left boards. Drop back to Tukelia. Stops, goes, gives it to Lundstrom, who skates in. Now to Moshe, shot on, save made. Swept away from Fincere. Teemu finds it at the corner and gives it out to Nicky Dangles. Now to Pico Roger. Between the legs move, another one there. Tried to dance his way through the middle, but could not. Nicky Dangles finds it. Shot goes wide. Save made from Kazu. There's another shot on, another save made. Blocked in front, rather, as while giving chase, won by EXEN to avoid the icing. Pass to the point to Lundstrom. Out of Mosje. Shot blocked in front. One time shot, and they score! Indy from the right face-off dot. Great play there from EXEN. They break the shutout of Valokuitunen. A 5-1 disadvantage for them, but nevertheless, they get on the board, and beautiful play there. Eerily similar to the game winner of that triple overtime in game number 3. Just a beautiful setup. Indy with a lot of space on that right face-off circle. Beats Fincere glove side on the one-timer, and at the very least, EXEN get on the board for the first time in this game. They cut the lead to 4. A lot of work to do if they want to come back, but not a lot of time for them to do it. Mosje lost it at the point. It's found by Domi. Puck finds a way to Kazu, and he'll just play this one out. Arrow gets it. Moves it up the right boards. Shot saved by Fincere. Nicky Dangles had it, but lost it there. Nice play from Lundstrom defensively. Indy back to Lundstrom at the left point. Skates into the right side. Shot was seemingly blocked as Lundstrom took a big hit. Maybe it looked like he got injured there as well. 3 minutes to play in period 3. Valokuitunen on cruise control here in game number 5. Up 3-1 in the series. Up 5-1 in the game. As they see a trip to the finals right in front of their very sight. Less than 2 minutes now. EXEN in the zone. Mosje, nice between the legs, deep, but paid the price. Took a big hit on the boards, and here comes Valokuitunen on the other end. Pico Roger gets it. Now over to Nicky Dangles. Passes back to Pico Roger behind the net. 1 minute to play. Now down to 49.4 seconds as Valokuitunen take a penalty. Tripping going to be called against Nicky Dangles, and EXEN, for presumably the final time this season, will be on the power play. See it right there, just tripped up to Kelia from behind. EXEN with a chance to slim the lead a little bit more. One power play chance in this game, did not score on it. Shot on, blocker away there by Finsterde. EXEN still pushing. Benito gets it. Tried to clear it out, but a nice catch there from Lostrom to keep it in the zone. Slap shot from the point. Easy save by Finsterde. It's EXEN getting back. Shot on. Save again by Finsterde. That was Ardo with it. 30 seconds to play. Full pressure. Save by Finsterde. Another shot. That time from Lostrom. And Finsterde robbed him on that play. Ace off to the left side of Finsterde. One cleanly by Benito, and it'll be cleared out. EXEN did have full pressure. That is now gone. 20 seconds remain. Ardo moves up the left boards, gives it to Lostrom, tried to feed Ardo back immediately, but it was picked off by Benito. Domi skates it in the neutral zone, feeds Benito. Potential breakaway, but Lostrom gets it out of his stick. 5 seconds left. And oh gosh, a 3-on-0 for EXEN, and they were offside. And that just about describes the way this one has gone for them. A great series, a great season for EXEN. They had their moments where it looked like they could have been in this one, as Teemu's shot saved by Kazu, and Valokuitunen Esports are on to the finals for a second straight season. They win the series over EXEN in 5 games, a dominant stamp, a 5-1 win to close it out. Again, a great effort from EXEN, the 5 seed. They swept Totorit in the first round in the quarterfinals. Had moments where it looked like they could have very well have competed well with this team. Lost game 1 just barely in overtime. We're up for the vast majority of game number 4. I think this series was a lot closer than what the 4-1 series score will indicate. EXEN could very well have pushed this one to 6, but Valokuitunen undeniably the better team throughout this series. Controlled the possession, were able to really stifle the offense of EXEN. Kept Lostrom and Moser from doing a lot of the things they did well in that quarterfinal series. Those were defensemen that had 8 and 9 points respectively. Lostrom with the 9, Moser with the 8. Two of the best offensive defensemen in the league, and you even see the stats. EXEN was as even as they have been all series long in this game 5, but just a few mistakes, and Valokuitunen, when you make those mistakes, you talked about it earlier, you can beat Valokuitunen, but you can't beat Valokuitunen by beating yourselves, and unfortunately, just a few miscues from EXEN in this series really was the difference. A lot for them to be proud of, a great effort, but Valokuitunen, the better team in this one. They move on to the finals, a 4-1 series victory. They close it out with a 5-1 game 5 win, as they will now await to see their opponent. It'll either be Strikers or Tunnel Vision, 2 teams that they have met in the finals before, as we will go back into the studio. Brandon B, Major Bigsby here with you, as, man, I mean, this Valokuitunen team, man, they just continue to do it. They find ways, they find ways. It's just so funny how the narrative can change in just a matter of one series. They went from being pushed to the brink by the 8 seed, and the Blackjacks had to win it in 7. I mean, you know, you ask a lot of people, you would maybe say that the Blackjacks very easily could have won that series if Valokuitunen were fortunate to make it into the semifinals. They won 2 of those games by a goal. One of them were in overtime. They were down by 2 in one of those games. You know, you could argue that the Blackjacks could have been the ones in the semifinals, but the name of the game, it's survive and advance. Valokuitunen did that. You could see the improvements in their game in this series as they went up against a hungry EXEN team that were looking for their first finals appearance. It looked as good as ever. Probably had as good of a chance as we have seen them have in their tenure in the ECL Elite Division. Played, I think, rather well in this series, but, you know, again, just were not able to find enough offense. Were not able to clean up some of those mistakes, and Valokuitunen, just a better team in this one. EXEN, a great season. Congratulations to them. No question that they will be back But it is all about Valokuitunen Esports here tonight. A 4-1 series victory. They punched their ticket into the finals. They await the Strikers versus Tunnel Vision series as we will conclude that series right here at twitch.tv/SportsGamerGG on Wednesday. As you see the poster for it right here, coverage will start at 9:15 CEST. Tunnel Vision versus Strikers, two very, very close games. Both of the games decided by a goal. Strikers won game one with a late goal by Eki, with just 50 seconds left. Tunnel Vision had a 3-0 lead in the late stages of game number two, lost it. The game went to triple overtime, but they were able to seal the deal when it mattered most to tie the series at one apiece. So that series will be concluded on Wednesday as we will take a look at the bracket as it is now updated. And there it is, Valokuitunen Esports in the finals. They defeat EXEN in 5. And as we said, they will await the winner of that Strikers versus Tunnel Vision series that we will cover here on Wednesday night. So you're not going to want to miss that. I know Valokuitunen will be watching with full intent to see who their opponent will be, maybe a little bit of scouting, but again, they are very familiar with each of those two sides. They've met Strikers in the finals multiple times. They met Tunnel Vision in the finals just last season. They also met them in the semifinals for a couple of seasons. Tunnel Vision lost in that series as the defending champs in 7. Valokuitunen took their crown back from them. Tunnel Vision on a mission to do the same, but they'll have to get past that Strikers team first. So make sure you're here on Wednesday for that. We'll bring you back into the studio as now wrap things up here. A big thank you to our sponsor, Valokuitunen, for their amazing and their generous support of everything we do here at SportsGamer GG and for everything we do here in the ECL. A big thank you to Chris Ryan for all the amazing production behind the scenes. None of this would be possible without his hard work. So a big thank you for him for the amazing job that he does. A big thank you to Ken and everyone at SportsGamer GG for the work that they put in to make this possible. Thank you all for watching. Congratulations to Valokuitunen Esports. They are on to the finals, a 4-1 series victory. They defeat EXEN in 5 games. For myself and everyone at SportsGamer GG, thank you all for watching. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you guys back here in just a few days' time.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.